This is video number 2 for 3.7b notes. So we're going to look at how to solve some of these inequalities that are absolute value inequalities. First example is problem number 3. So when we have greater than or equal to, that means great or than, that means we're going to write two equations. Take the quantity that's inside the absolute value and you're going to write it without the absolute value. Or now we're going to write it again. Keep the x plus 5 the same. Keep whatever's inside the inequality, the absolute value, the same. Switch the symbol around from less than to less than or equal to, and then change the sign of the number on the other side of the absolute value. So now subtract 5, and we get x is greater than or equal to 2. Or over here, subtract 5, and we get x is less than or equal to negative 12. So multiple choice here. X is less than or equal to negative 12. X is greater than or equal to 2. So that's choice A. Now we're looking for the graph. We want the negative 12 to be going to the left and shaded in, and the positive 2 to be going to the right and shaded in. So that's choice B. So here's negative 12 filled in, going to the left. Here's 2 filled in, going to the right. All right, so that's number 3. Number 12 is the next problem. This one's actually pretty easy. We have less than there, so that means we're going to write it as a between inequality. So x goes in the middle. First, you write x is less than 8, just like it's written here, just without the absolute value. And now we're going to write and it's greater than negative 8. So x is between negative 8 and positive 8. No equal to sign there, so make sure you choose the right one there. That's C. So if x is between the negative 8 and positive 8, that means the shading is between negative 8 and positive 8. And negative 8 and positive 8 cannot be filled in because they're not included on this one. All right, so that's 12. Number 13, same thing we did on the first one. We have greater than or equal to. So that means we're going to write it as an or statement, great or. This feels the same as the last one. Is it? It practically is the same as the last one. It is the same as the last one, so we better get it right again, huh? So subtract 5, x is greater than or equal to 2, or subtract 5, x is less than or equal to negative 12. How random is that? That we get the same problem as number 3. Okay, so pick the correct one here. That will be x is less than or equal to negative 12. X is greater than or equal to 2. That's or. And then it has to be going, 2 is going to the right. Well, I can't write on that. And negative 12 is going to the left. So that's B. Okay, strange. I didn't pick up on that before. Okay, number 14 is a greater than or equal to. So we're going to write it as an or. Great or. Right? Or 4x minus 8 is less than or equal to negative 6. Remember, don't change, not 16. Don't add anything to the number either. Don't change the part that's inside the absolute value. It's going to stay the same on both inequalities. So add 8. So 4x is greater than or equal to 14. Divide by 4, and we have to reduce. So 14 over 4 reduces to 7 over 2. Or over here, we're going to add 8. 4x is less than or equal to negative 8. Divide by 4. Oops, I did it again. Y'all, why am I doing that? That's supposed to be negative 6. Add 8, I get 2, divide by 4. Wow, I wrote that twice. So that's less than or equal to 1/2. So over here, I need to fill in the right numbers. X is less than or equal to 1/2, or x is greater than or equal to 7/2. So just make sure you pay attention to your symbols and what number you put in those blanks. All right, number 16. Actually, number 16 should have went with 7.A notes, so I'm just going to go ahead and add it to this note since I've already done the other ones. This one, you're going to, is it equal signs? We don't write two inequalities, obviously, because there's no inequality here. But this is like what we did on 3.7a. So we first have to get the absolute value by itself. Divide by 2. So this is me getting the absolute value by itself. All right, now we're going to make two equations. So when we do two equations, not inequalities, we set it equal to positive 3, and we set it equal to negative 3. So now we have to get y by itself. So first we got the absolute value by itself. Now we're trying to get y by itself. So here I get y is equal to 9/4. That's an equal to sign. Over here, add 6. 4y is equal to 3. Divide by 4, y is equal to 3/4. So in the blank, I'm going to type those two answers with a comma. 9/4 and 3/4. All right, number 17 is a word problem. Starting from 150 feet away, your friend skates towards you and then passes you. She skates at a constant speed of 20 feet per second. Her distance d from you in feet after t seconds is given by this equation. Hey, give us the equation. At what times is she 110 feet from you? So this is an equation. So we're going to take the d, and where d is distance, so we're going to put 110 in for d. And its absolute value is already by itself, so I'm just going to make two equations. 150 minus 20t is equal to 110. And my other one would be the same thing. Take the whatever's inside the absolute value and set it equal to a negative 110. So we're going to solve. And divide by negative 20. And t is equal to 2. Over here, do the same steps. And divide by negative 20. And t is equal to 13. So she is 110 feet away from you after 2 and 13 seconds. So notice it says to use a comma to separate our answers. All right, number 18. The recommended daily intake, RDI, of a nutritional supplement for a certain age group is 800 milligrams per day. Actually, supplement needs vary from person to person. Write an absolute value inequality to express the RDI plus or minus 60 milligrams and solve it. Okay, so we're going to take the absolute value of x minus 800, because we're going to subtract 800 from the actual RDI, and that's going to be less than or equal to 60. Now, the reason why I did that is because it's plus or minus. That word or kind of helps me here. So I know it was going to be one or the other. That really doesn't help, though, for you to understand that. So x minus 800 has to be between 60 or negative 60. And I keep saying or. It's actually a between inequality. Oh, first I have to check this one off. So this is D. Okay. So the x minus 800 is less than or equal to 60, so it's between negative 60 and positive 60. Remember, this is where we add it to the middle, and we get 740. So x is between 740 and 860. 740 and 860. Remember, the small number goes on the left, the big number goes on the right. Okay, that one was probably about as clear as mud. Okay, so that is the problems for this homework, 3.7b. Now you're ready to work on those.